This is the AM News. Let's begin. Now, the disruption in internet supply across the country had a far-reaching effect on the daily activities of Ghanaians. One of the mobile internet service customers recounts to JoyNews how her pay slip processing for onward payment of her salary and other allowances could not be transmitted, leaving her hanging in the balance and uncertain about whether her monthly salary will be paid. More details in this report.
Internet users in Ghana have been hard hit by the sudden disruption in supply of mobile and fixed internet services across the country. Sector regulator, the National Communications Authority, says the problem is attributable to multiple undersea cable disruptions. Even as technicians work around the clock to resolve the crisis, some Ghanaians say a cut in the internet supply is having a toll on their daily activities and businesses.
Yeah, I use MTN, I use Vodafone. Today it was a hell for me since morning till now. I cannot be able to access my Zoom. Even to print out my pay slip was a wahala the whole day. I couldn't print it.
Your pay slip?
Yes. Very serious. And then did it close tomorrow. I have to print it tomorrow. And here is the I can't print it out.
Which means that basically you might lose out on your...
Basically, yes. I don't know what actually they want to use it for, but they say we should provide it by tomorrow at 8 a.m. And here is the case. The network is not working. I cannot access it. I cannot print it out.
When did you realize your internet was not working?
This morning, 8 a.m. Started this morning, 8 a.m. to now.
We use the internet always as in a form of receiving files, yes, retrieving and all those stuff. So we need internet for our daily works. But today with the internet connection, we felt that if you sent a file like just now, it will take you an hour or two before it sends, and we got to know that the network especially has a problem.
Yeah, I was a bit affected, but I used MTN, so it wasn't too much. I think it was with work that network was down, so we couldn't do much, but on my phone it's quite okay. I think it's just WhatsApp that's down. But with Snapchat, it's okay. So,
when did you realize?
Well, colleagues started complaining about it, but I was doing some work off the internet, so I didn't really mind. So I was just on my phone because I use MTN. It was better.
The National Communications Authority says it is working to resolve today's disruptions in internet supply across the country. The problem has been attributed to some undersea cables that have been cut in parts of Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal and Portugal. Ghana has felt the impact, with many internet users expressing their frustration about the disruption in internet supply for today.
But they should try and do something about it because it has really affected our work today. Sending message to the house, sending message to an individual is not going through at all.
So up to now, I've still not done my assignment. I'm hoping that maybe by the close of the day, I'll have a better network.
This problem because Ghanaians, we're already suffering with one or two things. So this internet is what brings us some joy or something else. So we beg them, we should do something about it.
Lesa Sugan reporting for JoyNews, Accra.
Now, some mobile telephony users have also been counting their losses and expressing frustrations over the disturbance in the internet supply.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. So I thought maybe it was my bundle or something. So it was later I checked the bundle, I still had bundle, and then later I saw people posting it like MTN and stuff, so I was like, maybe there's a problem. So yeah.
So how has it affected you? Has it affected you in any way?
Well, not really. I was just bored. Like instead of maybe being on social media, I was just sitting down. Oh yeah, and I was unable to send messages, WhatsApp messages. Okay.
Oh, when I got to know that the network wasn't, the internet wasn't working, I tried to send an SMS, but still was not going through, so I stopped. And up to now, as I'm talking to you, the SMS is not still going through. I needed a response from the person, but I didn't get it up to now. But
it has really affected me because after work I wanted to get home very quick. I was trying to access both to get in touch with the customer, but it was a problem. Yeah. I think it started around 1 p.m. Yes, and it's still happening.
I use Vodafone, and not even just today. But today was very, very bad. I was expecting WhatsApp messages and some calls from WhatsApp. And what the internet is very bad today. I'm not able to receive my messages and stuff. So I don't know what they're doing. My Vodafone is I don't know what they're doing about the network and stuff. Yeah, I learned I've taken over from Vodafone, which we don't understand what is going on. I called to send money to my uncle outside, and because of the internet, I couldn't get a call. So I've lost. Oh.
And Deputy Ranking Member of Parliament's Communications Committee, Sam George, says the incident should be investigated thoroughly because of its implications on the sovereignty of the country.
Well, it's a worrying situation, and it's one that anyone who thinks about the sovereignty of the country and the economic impact, not to talk of the national security impact, will be very, very concerned. You know, that we can have the kind of blackout we've had. I realize and reckon that we're beginning to see some limited service on some of the platforms, but clearly this must lead us to have a national conversation on what is critical national infrastructure and how we run it. There are issues of who owns them, what kind of redundancies do we have as a country. These are all critical issues that we must begin to think about, not to talk about the loss. You know, in this country, we don't take statistics very seriously, but if this was another jurisdiction, by close of today, we would have had from the statistical service the cost to the economy of Ghana, because don't forget that people would need to connect to the internet to clear goods at the ports today. That would literally be impossible, so the ports would literally have grinded to a halt. And private businesses that offer services to clients outside the country by working online have all been affected and offline. The cost to business alone, the economy of Ghana today, give or take, could run into the hundreds of millions of dollars if we look at that.
The Chamber of Telecom says it investigates. Who would you want to see? Well,
the question I'll be interested in is how is it that we have 5 sea cable landings in Ghana, and in one suite, all 5 are either taking out or we have limited capabilities. I thought it was just the wax, but it appears that the effect goes beyond wax, because wax is the MTN cable. What's happening to Main 1? What's happening to Glow 1? What's happening to all the fiber cables that are coming into Ghana, the 5? Because if wax was down, we could have easily piggybacked on Main 1 for some temporary, but it looks like all of them are either having no service capabilities today or very limited service capabilities, and that's worrying. And that should be something we should investigate and make sure that we take concrete steps to ensure never again do we have such situations. Imagine this happening on the 7th of December.
Minister for Works and Housing, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, says there's no chance victims of the Akufo-Addo Dam spillage disaster will be relocated to the Saglemi Affordable Housing Project. 6 months after the disaster, victims are still living in tents, forcing Member of Parliament for North Tongu to file a question in Parliament asking for a relocation to the abandoned facility. Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah says the Saglemi project is currently not hospitable as it is without electricity and water. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante reports.
It's been 6 months since the floodgates of the Akufo-Addo Dam was opened, leaving in its wake destruction never seen before in the country. NDC MPs for the affected people have been raising loads of concerns about government's lethargy in moving in to respond to the concerns of victims. So many victims are still living in tents. Works and Housing Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah says government is still gathering data, but first he responds to concerns that government should relocate these victims to the Saglemi Affordable Housing Project until government is able to fully resettle these persons.
The Saglemi Affordable Housing Project is currently not habitable. Electricity and water have not yet been extended to the site. In addition, the site lacks basic sewage systems, making it uninhabitable in its current state. Mr. Speaker, moving victims of the Akufo-Addo Dam spillage to Saglemi Affordable Housing Project is tantamount to resettlement, as government will have to move the people from their communities to a new location.
Sambalo Kujota Blackwa is disturbed that Ghana can spend millions of dollars to host African games, but do not have enough to resettle these victims.
It's 6 months after the disaster. Thousands are living in tents, congested classrooms. In preparation for the Africa Games, your government was able to find $60 million to renovate hostels at the University of Ghana for games, $60 million.
Honorable member, just go on with the question.
So 6 months.
Kojo Nkrumah says 6 months down the line, government is gathering enough data to inform its decision on what it has to do for these victims.
Currently, state institutions are working to provide the necessary support to the affected communities. Work is also ongoing to collect background information that will inform government decision on resettlement of the affected communities.
Member of Parliament for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dafia-Mekpo, on the floor of the House is not happy with the urgency with which government is moving in to help these victims.
This is a disaster that affected in excess of 50,000 people. And as soon as this occurred, a 30-member interministerial committee was set up, chaired by the Chief of Staff. And it's been over 6 months. So for the minister to be saying that stakeholder consultations are still ongoing and that they are now trying to ascertain numbers, Mr. Speaker, the people need to be resettled.
The minority said they will continue in their fight to get justice and resettlement packages for the victims of the Akufo-Addo Dam spillage disaster that happened 6 months down the line. The Volta Regional Minister, Archibald Lecha, had early on told JoyNews government was still engaging traditional authorities to get enough land for resettlement packages. But with North Tongue MP and his partners having gone ahead of government and having instituted private residential places for these victims, the call and the pressure is on government to act immediately. And the new Works and Housing Minister is having to bear all this pressure. Reporting for JoyNews, Kwiku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
In other stories, residents of Lapaz and Alajo in the Greater Accra region are lamenting the recent power outages. They say the intermittent power supply is affecting their businesses, destroying the gadgets, both home and at work. They want the Electricity Company of Ghana to fix the problem or provide the public with a timetable.
Is Dumso back? Well, the Energy Ministry and the Electricity Company of Ghana say it isn't. But some Ghanaians have complained bitterly about their recent experiences with intermittent power supply. They say it is affecting their businesses and destroying their gadgets.
Charlie, I know your shit. Because when they off their lights in the morning around 8, unless evening around 6, that lighting and it's very bad. It's affecting our job, you see. You see this kind of job we do. Without lights, we can't do anything. And we are not surviving because we are surviving because of the lights. You see. So if the doomsday is starting there, man, we are dead.
Actually, the power outages is very frequent in our area here. And for the case of business, no, those of the tenants that are using it for ice water, that destroy their business. And especially this man is a photographer. Normally they use the electricity to do and to affect them. And the heat, when it happens in the night, you can't sleep. You can't sleep.
It's affecting us very bad because there are days, it's like when you're about to work and then all of a sudden the lights will go off. And I think on Wednesday or Tuesday, we were here around 9 or so. Then there was no light. We have several customers that pass by. Some of them want to retouch their hair, some of them want to do washing, but we are not able to do that. So we have to send them, go every with the braiding. Because of that, we have to buy gas cylinder in case when someone finish braiding, there is no light, we have to heat water separately. So that's the challenges we are going to go.
They're calling on the Electricity Company of Ghana to provide a timetable so they know when to adequately prepare.
Yeah, we agree because normally when it's going off, we are not aware and we haven't prepared. Probably you may have some things in the fridge that will get spoiled. So definitely we need, if really there's the situation, we have to get a timetable so that you can program for it. But the way it is, all of a sudden, sometimes a day, 2 times.
They have to tell us, maybe today the light will go off. Do you understand? For us to know. But they won't tell anything, they won't say anything. You are just sitting down, then you see the lights off. We are doing something serious. Last time we are braiding someone hair. Lights off. We have to let the person go.
The intermittent power supply is not exclusive to the Greater Accra region, as some other regions, including the Ashanti region, have also complained of recent power outages. But when does it come to an end? Time will tell. For JoyNews, Kenneth Jesse.
I think many Ghanaians share the sentiments that at least we should have a timetable to prepare for what's coming. But in other stories, Project Manager of Arts and Culture at the British Council, Andrew Intua-Mensah, says art and culture play a crucial role in boosting the economy through providing market access for creatives. He says the British Council has enumerated several programs, including an exchange program that will allow idea sharing between Ghana and the United Kingdom. The festival, organized annually by the Nubuke Foundation Center for Textiles and Clay, showcases the rich art and culture of the Upper West region. Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
The festival aims to promote the wealth and wealth of weaving traditions in the Upper West region, renowned for its weaving skills. With a special focus on the weaving and pottery community, the festival seeks to drive economic transformation by intentionally leveraging as a catalyst for growth. The 3-day festival attracted communities and schools from the Nodolo-Keleo district, Wa and Nando municipalities. The festival is held on the theme, a festival of our weaving traditions, weaving a sustainable future for the next generation. Dignitary participants were guided through the exhibits on the grounds to witness the diverse expressions of art and culture on first hand. In a speech, the executive director of Nubuke Foundation, Madame Odilia Tevier, mentioned that more than 2,000 people have attended the festival since its inception in 2021.
Since the inception of our festival in 2021, we have welcomed over 2,000 visitors who have witnessed the exponential growth of participation in the center's activities. Much as our work is focused on design and artistic side, we identify other needs of weavers and seek to address them with partnerships. Through the 3-year EU Hour program, we partnered with PEP, a local organization, to train over 22 master weavers in business and accounting procedures in 2023.
Project Manager of Art and Culture at the British Council, Andrew Intua-Mensah, observed that art and culture are major contributions to the country's economy.
We believe that the arts and culture holds the key to contributing to our economy through market access for our creatives. And by market access, we are not looking at just one art form, but we're looking at art forms that includes music, film, literature, fashion, and the rest. To enhance the enterprise side for creatives, the British Council has introduced an online platform, which is the So Creative e-learning platform for creatives, young people, to access it. And this came to mind, or this was done because we want to transcend borders.
The British Council's project manager of art and culture also spoke of an exchange program that will allow idea sharing between Ghana and the UK.
At the British Council, we support the creative arts and culture through our creative economy work by providing grants and also showcasing the work like it's been done here of creatives. We also contribute to policy that will shape the creative arts here in Ghana. Again, too, we provide exchanges for creatives to kind of learn and share the different things that we have as Ghanaians with countries in the UK. And I think that with what we do, this is one of the things that we want to exchange as much as possible.
Representing the Abochie Minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Sali, at the festival is his personal assistant political, Megor Abdul Rahman. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Lo.
Now, the Ghana National Association of Private Schools has pledged to support any political party that shows the will to address pertinent challenges confronting private school operations and management. The association laments exorbitant regulatory charges, property rates, and hikes in the cost of doing business. Members have indicated their keen interest in seeking redress from any political party that will show concern. Here's a report by Clinton Yeboah.
There are over 300 private schools in the Afija-Kwabre South District of Ashanti Region alone. These schools complement government's efforts to expand access to education for all school-going population. The schools, however, feel sidelined in the rollout of some government's policies in the education sector. Chairman of the Ghana National Association of Private Schools in the district, Nicholas Bambuni, says members are being suffocated with exorbitant charges for providing services which in some cases ought to be free. He is calling on authorities to abolish nuisance tax, scrap the 30% priority placement system, and reveal operational charges from the National Schools Inspectorate and the National Teaching Council.
They should scrap that 30% out of it. They should make sure that this BEC, with the registration last year 170 cities, this year, do you know how much they are collecting? 214 Ghana cities. NTC is taking 250 Ghana cities from our teachers in order to register them, because they say if they don't register them, they will not allow them to teach. 250 Ghana cities. Where are they going to get this money? Nasia is taking 800 Ghana cities from our students, from the schools. 800 Ghana cities every year. 800 Ghana cities. You go to a school, we have about, maybe they have about 200 students. 200 students. He's going to pay the teachers from it. He's going to pay SNIT from it. You are telling them to pay 800 Ghana cities. How are they going to get the money? So what happens is, when the placement comes, they will give the allocation for private schools 30% for government schools. And ours will now be shared with 70% with the government schools again. So at the end, our schools, our students don't get the A schools.
Nicholas Bambuni spoke at the Ghana National Association of Private Schools Week celebration. He indicated the association's readiness to support any political party that captures the concerns in its 2024 manifesto.
And that is why we are saying this year, we as private schools are going to play politics. This year, we are ready to play politics. And people should not joke or underestimate our numbers, because if you look at our numbers as we speak, even the tertiary, the learner population, we have about 1.5 million. Even the students too, we have over almost 200,000. So we are not here to play. This year, election year, my brother, private schools, we are going to play politics.
The Education Director of Afija-Kwabre South, David Akomia, highlighted the positive roles of private schools in the district. While calling for external support, he assures the association of a dialogue to look into the concerns raised.
Since assuming office in 2022, there has been a total collaboration with the private schools. The fact being that they are all helping to educate the Ghanaian child every year. So I will plead with the authorities that maybe if it cannot be a wholesale, but they can look at situational issues in terms of district-wise, because if you come to Afija-Kwabre, like I'm saying, we have over 300 of them, about 1,000 people registering for BEC. But you go to a different district, there might be maybe 200 or 300 or so people. So I would suggest that if they can look at it, then look at it on basis of the number of schools in each region, but in each district, so that something can be done about it.
Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton Yeboah.
On that note, we wrap up for the AM News on the AM show. Up next is the news review. Stay with us.